Okay, now we're going to take a look inside my 85 Corvette. Notice how it has a VATS key. The ignition was apparently replaced at least once. As anyone that knows their vets knows it shouldn't have that. Driver's side door, key doesn't work. Passenger side's the only side that unlocks. And even that's a little tricky. See, of course Murphy's Law would say that on video it's not going to work. Plus I'm, too cheap to buy an actual camera, so I'm using a phone. There we go. Notice my cluster sitting right on top. Sort of looks like a go-kart inside right now. But here she is. It's got black interior, black carpet, snow on the ground. It's getting in the car right now with my cluster. So that's going to be put back in just a couple minutes. But here we are. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. And bumper's in really good shape. Top bumper dash. It looks like they did some type of repair or a matte, or it might just be really old. Could be able to polish it up. All right. One thing else that I noticed is that my interior is not original, or at least this center information piece. It needed to be replaced anyway because it had a bunch of divots and dings in it. But anyone that knows their salt would know that it would not be there. It would be more over here. And when I turn it on, instead of check engine, it says service engine soon, like the 86s and 87s. It's probably from an 86. Everything on here works though. I got this off because as you see, it's a big go-kart with the dash out. Let's see. Like I said, my beautiful wife, she bought this for me as a gift. And it's a pretty decent gift. It's got the Doug Nash 4+3. However, it's an older model, so the overdrive is actually on the console. So it's not too bad, but if I had my druthers. The power seat works just fine. The mirrors are all fine. The radio has been replaced with some aftermarket dual piece of junk. My lighting in here needs to be replaced. Sorry about the relay. My actual horn, because like I said, my wife can't even drive a manual, so she just really bought it for me because the miles were really low. See if I can get the miles on here for you. It has 89,493. It had actually 89,470. I've only put like 20 some miles. I've drove it to and from work a few times. Gave it a few test drives. This center is now completely replaced. I just had it serviced from one of the greatest aftermarket places you can go. Go to Beatty.com. Sorry, Brian, for being upside down. But anyway, he just serviced this, put all new bulbs, and replaced the 12-volt connector. And so hopefully it will no longer flicker going down the road. The heat and the air conditioning work. The condition of most of it's in pretty good shape. These are my bolts and my clips from taking out the center. As I was going back to the horn doesn't work. It's mainly because right under here, the center relay has been pulled out. Which is never, the horn relay has been pulled out. I'm kind of afraid when I put it back, which I actually bought one. I just purchased one. It was in camera view just a second ago. Anyway, I just purchased a new horn relay. So when I put it in, it's either going to do one of two things. It's either going to function, or it's going to go meep, 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 meep. And then I'll have to pull it out and find out how to disable the security or how to reset it. So, any advice on that, my good Corvette friends, would be excellent. And because, you know, I haven't owned one of these since I was a little kid and I didn't know anything. I mean, I was only 17 when I owned an 86. I kind of wish I had an 86 until I found out that the anti-lock brakes can be a pain in the butt, and the climate control can also be a pain. So this is the old GM standard style. You know, here's my target top. You notice there's a big crack in the top. It's all right. I'm going to replace this. You can get them on eBay for like $300 for just the lens, if you don't mind doing the heat work yourself. So I have a heat gun. I got the Liberty Mutual thing in here right now. It's kind of funny, and I don't even drive it. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to get my safe driver discount for this car. All right. Need to replace this because my mirrors are broken. So I just got to find them. This one doesn't even have it. So they did a lot of aftermarket work. Like I said, they replaced this film with another one. And she runs all right. Pretty good. The Doug Nash seems to be in pretty good shape. Haven't really tested out the overdrive too much because I don't drive very fast in her. I mean, I only have driven her in town. But that's something I'm going to have serviced before any interstate travel's done. As I said, this was a blue car, and they actually literally painted. If you look up close, you can see where this is just upholstery spray paint, especially on the sides. It was at one time a beautiful blue, and they ruined it. So I'm going to probably replace the carpet, but I'm going to, since there's so many missing parts, such as the seats and this trim, I'm going to just replace that or actually leather it myself. But since there's so many missing parts from the original car, I'm never going to actually go back to its blue. Decided to go for the outside with an orange and black theme, and the inside I'm going to do in black and orange. Replace the carpet here with a pumpkin orange. Leave all of this black, and do the door seals. Wrap it in a leather and stick it back on there. Should be able to do that. They're in pretty good shape, so I can actually salvage a lot of existing pieces. Here's my trim. Got my tools, center cluster. They painted the whole thing. So the seats were actually from a red car. Luckily, I did check it on the RPOs, but you can tell this clearly came from a red Corvette, and it is leather in there. But what I'm going to do is get, see, got a little bit of missing stuff where they just painted it, you can tell. So I'm going to replace the covers with black and orange and the center trim. And, that's pretty much it. You know, it's going to take maybe a year, maybe two. And with a Corvette, you only fix one thing at a time. You should never try to get carried away. So originally I had planned on first thing replacing was the driver's side light, but unfortunately the driver's side light had to wait because I was driving out to the parts store to buy some tools, which were right there, right? And the dashboard started to flicker. And you don't want to be driving around in a car that doesn't have a functioning dash. So I immediately called Crazy Uncle Burton and got that fixed. I'm going to put that back. My next project is, of course, the horn. My windshield wipers only work on high speed. I love how they replaced all the door bolts with zip ties. It'll make it pretty easy to get to, but it also has made everything sag really bad. But like I said, I'm going to replace the carpet. Most of the hardware for the bows is still intact, so I can at least leave the original mask. You never know. I mean, it's so crazy how the little things such as speaker grills cost more than actual, you know, mechanical parts. So, but anyway, stay tuned for my next video. I'm gonna crank her up and let you hear how she sounds.